Hello, good evening. It's Friday night. It's bloody 8 o'clock, and we're going live with Transformers, the show. When I find the starting music, I've got Rohan in my ear. Music, please.
This is just your ear.
I live my life walking down the street, meet the faces of the people I see. All the time I see a reflection. All the time I see a reflection. It's okay to feel alone. It's okay to be alone. All the time I see a reflection. All the time I see a reflection. 'Cause when I'm with you, it seems so easy. Seems so easy. My best days are with you. They are so easy. They are so easy.
Good evening, and welcome to show 101, room 101. Am I a bit loud? Sorry. Your faces, Jamie and Andy.
Sound your microphone's a bit echoey and a bit
you've
echoey,
been
like hollow.
You've been
Just say,
Sound problems.
I like it.
Oh, okay. Cheers. Like the new pool. He prefers my voice like this. So on tonight's show, we've got we're doing foreplay, which is going to be all about Bumblebee,
Oh, shit,
and
yeah.
then we're going to do our top 5 worst Transformers of 2021, and I'm really looking forward to that, Huffer. So, right, let's start off with the news, as always.
I talk some TV, and now the news. Don't touch that dial.
To the news, my friend Andrew, whilst I try and sort my mic out.
That's fine. So news. Another comparison shot between Black Zarek, Legacy Black Zarek, as I believe he is now called, and Earthrise Scorponok. And this is the finest of the comparison photos that we've had.
It's got a big head and a little body.
Yeah, well done, Alexis.
I don't know if the proportions are quite right.
Did you fix your mic?
God, what's going on now? Are you trying to eat your mic?
Yeah.
No, what's wrong? Is it not working properly?
I thought you were being comical earlier. I didn't realise you were just stupid. So your mic's fucking awful.
Anyway, getting back to the news for a second. So yeah, this is just somebody had shared this photo, and it was just quite a funny one. But yeah, you go. You see their heads and
It's
little
quite cool,
Zareks underneath.
isn't it?
That's quite. It does look like the big bobbleheads, and it does look kind
Yeah.
of cool. There is not a lot of news this week, so bear with us. Now, I think they're saying now these figures have been confirmed, haven't they? Because we've got the actual
more
product
confirmed than
numbers
we
and
are.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot that we haven't actually mentioned before. I think. Have we mentioned Voyager Armada Starscream before? I think we have.
Deluxe
I
Guard.
wanna say yes.
What is this Deluxe Guard?
Well, this is the one. Yeah, Deluxe Guard is the interesting one. What
Sharkticon.
Deluxe Guard of
from
what?
the-
Is it? Yeah. Is it a Sharkticon?
Mm.
Is it
The guard that
Alex-
Alexis, your mic.
Is it another? Is it another of the Quintesson guards that we haven't had yet, or the one that was put into the Pit of Judgment? Are they going to release that one as a standalone figure with slightly different paintwork for everybody else? Who knows at this point? We can but wait and guess. But we're getting a junkyard, which we'll assume is just going to be a slight remold of Redgar. Leader Sludge, which we kind of knew about. Spike, Leader Blitzwing,
sorry,
another
but-
Blitzwing.
We can't let that stand. Bubble Jumper's attacking our integrity there. We never make up news. Never.
What's he saying? What's he saying?
Very dare you.
Make up news.
He's saying we
That's
make up
better.
news.
Mike's
Scandalous.
better now.
And I thought he was nice.
Well,
And
he just wears makeup.
So there you go.
does he?
I'm not really sure what that's going to do with anything.
Is-
Yes.
Is he
It's
bald?
just
Elite
some-
One.
him.
Is
It's all
Elite
him.
One just going to be a repack? Do we
Love
think
you, Ed.
of the Elite One we've already had?
I honestly
Yes,
don't
it
know.
fucking is.
I just wonder if it's going to be a different interpretation. You know how they've done a different interpretation of RC now, a mixture of Prime RC with the aesthetics of what you would expect to see in a jug of G1.
You'd think they'd just maybe remold what they've already got and then say, there you go. Maybe give her an Earth mode.
No.
Who knows?
But you know, they went to the trouble of making a new RC, so you think maybe they'll do a remold of that RC and have
Well,
a Call of
they
the
could.
to one.
Did they?
They could.
Did they do a new one?
Yeah, the bike.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The Transformers
You've got
Prime RC, yeah, that style.
Yeah.
And then we've got obviously Deluxe Wild Rider, so we knew the Stunticons are coming, and Deluxe Knockout. So if that Knockout looks as good as, well, maybe not quite as good, but if it does look as good as that RED figure, then that will be a very nice looking Knockout for the Prime fans. And Jaxus as well. I'd be interested to see what Jaxus is going to look like, or which figure they're going to base it off, or whether he's going to get a completely original mold. Because I think, am I right in saying the last Jaxus we had was based off? Was it the Armada Starscream? The
Yeah, and it's like
Generations
kind
version?
of smaller than Deluxe, wasn't it? It's kind of
Yeah,
smaller
it
size.
wasn't particularly big. I remember seeing it, I think, in Toys R Us, but I never picked it up. Or did I see it in Toys R Us? Was that ever actually over here? Who knows? It was a long time ago, and I'm old.
What's Beast Inferno?
It'll be the Beast Wars version of Inferno, won't it?
Well, the
I hope
elephant.
so.
I mentioned before.
The one that got
Yeah.
the award, which no one got because they haven't had it out yet.
The elephant. It's the elephant, isn't he? Because elephants have trunks, and trunks carry water, and he puts water out. And he's
Well, delving into my
Oh, yeah,
vast
yeah.
Beast Wars knowledge, I would say I don't know.
Yeah, you're fainting.
yeah,
of
that
knowledge
it
today.
could be a firebug. Let's
be.
ponder on that for a while.
You've got no mental.
Could be an
tonight,
aardvark.
Alexis. You're going- you're
Inferno the Aardvark.
How's my
using nose.
microphone sound now?
Much better. I'm
Sexual.
in a happy place
It's
now.
got a background noise, Phil, but I
Like
don't know if
sexual
that's you.
chocolate.
A background noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
fine. It's fine.
I'm
sure
so glad we
people
logged
in
on
the
before the
comments
show
don't
started
care.
to do this. This is so glad
And that
we
was-
logged on doing that.
That was the third-party news. No, I don't want you to help make searches better for me. Go away. Random messages
Ooh,
from
what
computers.
website was that?
Inferno's
It was
a
from when I
pirate
was
cat.
hunting for the photos that I'm going to use for our discussion section. I'll have you know, I don't look at smut unlike some people I know. And
I
by
get
that
all
I
my
mean
photos
Alexis.
from ex-hamster.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Anyway, and then there was third-party news.
I feel personally attacked.
Is that because you use Pornhub? Anyway,
Is this fair party news? Is it fair party news?
no, this isn't. And I will admit that I can't remember why I downloaded it in third-party news. I think it may have been a mistake.
you're drunk?
Throwing it out there, but it
Drunk,
was. We had
drinking,
talked about the face
morning again.
sculpt for this, and that's the best photo we've had to kind of show it off. But I
I
still
mean,
think
I actually be
If
fair-
anyone,
go on. I
Well,
think we're all going to
if
say the
anyone-
same thing here.
if anyone wants to get a face sculpt but doesn't want to buy the chest plate, then chat to Rohan. He's got some going. The head, which looks very similar
Rohan.
to this. Rohan.
Yes.
And you can probably just get some stickers to go on this. I think Toy Hacks will do a sticker to go on that, so we can just paint it like they've done there.
I prefer this face just because the eyes aren't dead, you know, they painted
Yeah.
the eyes blue. And I think that makes a hell of a lot of a difference to the face.
Yeah, consider
And
this an extension to the mainline news, by the way.
And you've got to admit, you know, looking at well, you might have said this last week, the comparison with the chest plate, you know, they've actually drawn in the reflection on the chest plate as if it was taken from the scene from the cartoon. So they
Yeah,
went to
I
that
quite
sort
like
of level
this.
of detail.
I
you
might
know,
actually
it's-
pick this one up. I wasn't fussed at all for the original Studio Series one.
Yeah, he
Are you
wasn't
trying
fun.
to say, Jamie, that anyone with black soulless eyes looks dead?
I don't think that's nice to say that about me, Len.
And now we shall all take a moment to remember, Jamie.
Ah,
In happier
Pouring out
times.
one for my homie.
there you go.
When he could walk.
We-
Anyway,
we-
moving on.
She was so alive before I started collecting Transformers.
Oh.
So are you. You just.
Anyway, do not handle. There you go. Which is this a Legends Magnus?
That's Ultra Magnus, Andy.
I know it's
No, don't say-
Magnus, you turd. With your
Don't
useless
say.
Mike. What
says
I'm asking
clearly
you
at
is
the front.
which
With your
version.
shit, Mike.
It says at the front there, do
I'm
not
sorry, I
handle
shouldn't
him.
have gone there. I know that'll be a
Handle
bone
is
of
obviously a
contention.
name, so don't give him a name. Handle, name. Do not name him. Do not handle.
Could we call Alexis Lionel Richie now?
His
I
arms.
just
Lionel Richie.
I'd sure like to fist him.
There were complaints about this because of the arms, and the arms are mistransformed actually. So
Have we
it's
mentioned
an
which
ex-
version of this is?
Deluxe, who actually knows Transformers, says X-Transformers.
There we go.
Thank you, Deluxe. Thank God somebody
Hey,
knows.
Deluxe.
I love. I'm so
build
wish we
up
had a
to it.
third-party expert on here who could tell us these things.
Well, he's got no line knowledge, you know. He's got
Wait,
no.
just
stock
to
of
say
the
as
shit.
well, there is also they've done a red version. Oh, go back one.
Hello,
They've done-
is it
they've
me
done a
that
red-
you're looking for?
They've done a red version of their
I
hoist
can
as
see
well,
it in your eyes.
and they've made him look like Father Christmas. So if you go back to the original,
Oh, I
photograph,
thought that
which
was a
they didn't
bit
handle,
cool when he sung that, didn't he? Said, I can
Look at
see
the
it in
bottom
your eyes,
left,
and he's singing about a
and
blind chick.
you can get. I don't think we've got a picture of it because I didn't put a picture of it on, but you've actually got. Look there, see the faces. So you can get a red hoist, and you can have the Santa Claus face on it,
The
or
red
the
what?
Jack hoist.
Oh yeah, in the corner.
Hoist.
Yeah,
Hoist.
down there. Down
Yeah,
here.
so that goes on their hoist, their peel.
And Jack Skellington, which is an interesting choice.
There you go. So you can get those heads on a red hoist. If you like that sort of thing.
Well,
Brilliant.
that-
What will third
I'll
party do?
rush
next?
out to pre-order that then.
What would he do?
Pretty
His
sure.
looks don't look as good. It does look good.
I don't
Deluxe
think he would.
I'm pretty sure Deluxe has done a review of that. So if you want to check
Has
out
he?
Red Hoist
Already?
go see Deluxe.
Oh,
Deluxe,
Deluxe,
tell us if you
are the
have.
man.
We'll share it.
He looks like an elephant sat on him to talk about Alexis earlier. Just
Oh, there he
seems like
is.
a
There's
SWAT
Hoist.
version.
He's got his
Hoist.
sword.
He's got a sword.
Sword.
Oh, Jesus.
Keep going.
What? Anyway,
He looks pretty good, this
Um,
guy. looks
it's
really
very
good.
clean, isn't it? But almost too
It looks
clean.
really-
It's like
Doesn't it look like it's like a squatted version, though? He looks
The-
kind of.
his
Yeah.
arms look really big.
That's
No,
it.
no, it's-
You're right.
The
it's
arms,
the arms. They look
the
too
arms,
long.
the arms are mistransformed. They're mistransformed. Don't worry about that. That will change. So, Bobby Skullface did an interview of the old designer for X Transbots who went to do this a couple
So
of years ago.
what's
Not this version,
mistransformed
previous
about the
version.
arms? Are the shoulders
I
meant
don't
to
know.
go
I don't know.
higher?
I'm not an expert.
You're
Yeah,
supposed
I
to be a
reckon they need to be
hard
pulled up higher.
I'm not an expert. Don't ask me. And then, rush out.
No, I was
to
just
grab
saying.
this.
So they wanted the original X Transbots. Originally, Keith wanted to have, like how
Keith
Newage done
Keith
it.
Allen.
Keith Fancies.
Keith Chegwin.
You know, from they wanted to do it like Newage had done it and put the armor around original like MP10 bot, but they did it so many times it just didn't work. So they've gone. This is their new design now. So they want him to be just taller than Prime, not massively. Everyone says like all the Magnus because it's the trailer. It's just too big every time. It just doesn't scale in the eye of the beholder.
Okay. Oh, well, it is in the eye of the beholder. Moving on. Little Monster.
Wheelie.
Surprisingly, not one of my children.
That
But in fact,
Transformers.
Wheelie.
Is it Dark of the Moon?
Revenge of the Fallen. It's Revenge
I
of the
don't
Fallen,
care, they're all
really,
shit.
because
They're all
when
shit.
that original...
Why don't you just make up
Hasbro
stuff
one came
about
out, I
this
had
as
it.
well, Alexis?
Well, we always make up the news, don't we? So
No, we don't. We're professional.
This isn't even real. This is something Alexis has knocked up at home. Just taking some
That's
photos.
it.
Just to tease
That's it.
people. I
Mm.
don't know.
my love child.
I don't know. I'm not a fan. I wasn't a fan of it originally.
Ah,
so
but
why
look
would I
how
like it now?
cute. Look at what he transforms
It looks
into.
like Micromasters.
There we go. Yeah, not Micromasters. Yeah, Micromasters.
The character was just annoying though.
Paul's having a stroke.
He humps Megan Fox's leg.
Is it Micromasters that Galoob made?
That was
Micro
Micro
Machines.
Machines.
It
You're
looks
thinking of
like a
Micro
Micro Machine.
Machines. Oh, Micro Machines. Let's do an episode of Micro Machines sometime. Awesome
Ooh,
stuff.
let's do a podcast about Micro
Oh
Machines.
yeah.
We'll do it-
Other
should we
halves
start
will
writing
love that.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right now. Get an intro going.
Past Micro Machines and nipples.
Screw Transformers.
And then we
We're
can
doing
do a
Micro
podcast
Machines.
about being single. Anyway, moving on. And I assume
no.
this is news because it was
I'll never
shared
be
in our news
single.
chat. So I have included it. So
So
who
this
shared it?
is
The box?
This is to
Optimus
identify
Prime.
which David you have. So David is Optimus Prime from Newage, and they're obviously doing their EX version, which is the metallic version, their T version, which I'm assuming is the toy version, the X Tremor version, which is the black version, and the G version, which is the shattered glass version.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, all the versions. I think I got that right.
Yeah,
really
I
nice.
still like Magic Square one looks so good. I still don't feel
It-
like I'm going to pick up New Age one at all.
I don't know. New Age does look really good though. It does actually
Just
pose
the chest
really
bit.
well. I know he looks a bit. It's because it's a fake chest. If you look at the way
Yeah.
that they do it, it just. I don't know why they did the fake chest. It's just. It doesn't seem right. So.
There's
no.
gaps there, isn't there? And there's big gaps there on New Age. That's why.
I mean,
And
you
we
know,
don't
some
like
things look great with
gaps.
fake. I mean, some things look great with fake chests. Some things don't. That one doesn't.
Chat's gone on to Micro Machines, which is great.
Yeah,
Exactly how we
just
wanted
lead
it
them
to.
into these things.
If you could
The
put
gateway.
in your top 10 micro machines of the 90s, that'd be great, and we'll be here.
Christ, I'd like top 10 micro machines. That'd be hard to whittle down. Must have been
Right.
thousands of the little things.
Cool.
Watch Home
Brilliant.
Alone today with the kids, and like the bit with all the micro machines on the floor. They're going, "Daddy, what are those?" I'm going, "That's dangerous, lads. Don't leave your toys on the floor."
But you do it, and you don't transform. Right, let's do Rohan's corner, okay? Rohan!
Can't blame my wife.
Welcome to another edition of Rohan's Corner, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. And today we're going to be looking at my favourite top 3 Transformers that have the colour blue, and so on and so forth. This is Rumble or Frenzy. For the purposes of this, we'll just call this the blue one. It's an amazing figure, majorly articulated, special features. It's absolutely amazing. Blue streak. I mean, look at him. Look at all that blue shining through. It's amazing. It's a fantastic little figure. I love it to pieces. It's Skeletor. Alongside my liking of GoBot and so on and so forth is my love of Skeletor. Who doesn't love a person with a skull for a head? I know I do. I got you this time, Rohan. I've got you. It was me, Rohan. It was me.
Oh, hello there. It does appear that you've caught me here at Knockout's repair table.
He's a glutton for punishment.
For Ratchet's repair bay.
Then watch a master at work.
I am in the middle of maintaining some of my older Generation 1 figures.
I take it Lord Megatron requires a laboratory assist?
As I'm sure all of you are up to these days. Well, since we're here, why don't we talk about a little bit of maintenance that we all have to do on our bots these days, especially the older ones. For those of you like me who've been collecting for 35 plus years, and also for those of you who are newer into Transformers and have some of the sort of later characters from the Unicron trilogies or that sort of era who've now been on shelves for a long period of time as well, 20 years next year for Armada I believe it is. They also need some maintenance.
You know the worst part? After battling cons all these years, getting smacked down, shot at, blown up, this is how our lights go out?
And there's an absolute array of different tools you can use to help continually look after your bots.
I've done plenty of bodywork, Starscream, but I'm better at breaking them than fixing them.
Ranging from just the simple cleaning tools like makeup brushes. These are great for just getting off surface dust and getting into the nooks and crannies, the crevices of where bots have been sat for a while on a shelf and not had a chance to breathe.
Don't touch, just watch and learn.
And they come in different sizes, so just go and steal these off your partners or whatever, buy them from the £1 shop. You can also utilise cotton buds to get into those sticky areas where bits and pieces may have built up over time.
Buff this!
And from a cleaning perspective, if you're looking at figures not Generation 1, but figures from later series which don't have stickers, then I recommend these baby wipes, which have no alcohol in them, water-based wipes, which will be great for taking off layered dust and other elements that have stuck to your figures over time.
Hey, watch the paint!
What I would say is that be careful with stickers because obviously they can ruin those. And a little cloth for cleaning bits and pieces up. Other bits you can do to try and help fix your bots or look after them. For those which have been heavily weathered by the sun and yellowing over the years, white spirit or alcohol rubs can be useful, or there are other techniques where you can put them out in the sun again and actually look at them coming back to life again.
Without my supervision? You want them to be right, don't you?
WD-40 is an obvious one for those creaky joints which aren't going to play ball. And of course you've got your standard tools for disassembling and reassembling broken screws and parts which have come apart, let's be honest.
Do you know how hard that is to replace?
And I've had to put together or take apart a few screws over the last few weeks, months, years, as certain bots, newer ones, even come with deficiencies, especially those from Hasbro with QC issues and third-party ones as well.
Knockout, if you would be so kind as to provide your expert medical opinion to Soundwave for the historical record.
Simply put, unaided, Megatron could remain in this deathless slumber forever.
And then that brings me to a few random bits. First of all, the trusty penknife. Don't go anywhere without it. It brings you so much flexibility in what you can achieve with your bots. And especially when you're doing any kind of modding, then it's good for cutting out little bits and pieces of plastic which you don't need when you're moving ahead from one bot to another, that sort of thing.
What in the allspark is going on in here?
And some people swear by some sort of jelly to be able to provide the renewed stiffness in their joints that Alexis loves to hear about. I think he's got some specific product from the States.
Actually, that was an accident I had with Ratchet's blowtorch.
I tend to just use the Mrs.'s nail polish. They recommend you use clear nail polish for obvious reasons, or you can also use varnish, which will help your joints, ball joints especially, to have renewed stiffness in them. And the very last thing, something I probably should get Andy for Christmas or his birthday, is a spudger set. Never leave home without one. They are absolute gold, especially for those very tight joints or those areas which you just can't pry out with your fingers.
There is no need to get yourself all worked up, Throp.
And especially so because the plastic on some of these is quite hard and durable, but even so, some joints can be very, very difficult to actually get free. So there are metal ones as well, metal pry bars, and there are very, very thin points to push through into pins and the such like.
Do not worry, your punishment shall be merely cosmetic.
No, not the finish. No. Anything but the finish!
And of course, cleaning utensils and screwdrivers and so on and so forth. So these are my tips for helping you to maintain your bots, like Shockwave here. He's not perfect, but he's still in good shape, and a little bit of maintenance every couple of years doesn't hurt to keep him in top form.
Miserable glitches!
I hope that's been entertaining and helpful for you, and I hope to see you again next week on Rohan's Corner. What do you guys on the show do to maintain your bots, other than not knock them over? Back to the studio.
Don't worry. I'll be back, my dear little Trindles. I promise you that.
Hey boys, we've been rumbled. Well, let's bounce.
And so on and so forth.
Ah, that was awesome. Thank you, Rohan. I'm not sure that impersonator was at the start who infiltrates your TVs.
You got hacked.
Absolutely mental. How do you... I have a makeup brush. It's nothing to do with looking after my Transformers. Just like wearing makeup. Now, I have a makeup brush that my wife gave me. And I use that.
I have a little makeup set somewhere.
Again, Alexis, we're talking about the Transformers now.
Yeah, I have a little set I got for like three or four quid. It's like I said, Sam, I want these ones. Do you want the rest of them? She's like, yeah, sure, I'll have those. So I got that, and then the Kiki gel, which it's got it's basically like a little syringe point, like a needle point, so you can get right into those tight joints. That's the difference with it. You get that there, and it's a little pin so you can open it. That's what you get really. If you've got like something to apply, that I found with the nail varnish, it's quite difficult to apply it from a natural without a. Oh, hi, Lisa. Oh, sorry. What's she saying? Peace. Yeah, peace, Lisa. Peace. Yes.
And the mouthwash Paul.
No, but Alexis,
and I continue to go on. You don't want
to always use a plastic spudger. And you can buy a set for like 3 or 4 quid, and they do break. They do. Don't be afraid to break. Don't be afraid if they break, because this has got chips on it and it's broken at the end. Because I'd rather this broke, like the £2 thing broke, than the £100 thing broke. Say, so these do. If you put too much pressure on in the wrong place, these do break. But that's a good thing because you do. You don't always know sometimes.
It's because they're both meant to be plastic, aren't they? So they won't be sharper than the other plastic, so it won't scar.
Well, that's it.
Well,
it can, yeah. If you can leave black marks sometimes if you do it the wrong way. If you like putting the pressure on the wrong thing, like anything, if you put pressure on it, like it leaves a residue, right? But it does come off.
Oh, scrape the paint, I guess. But yeah,
exactly. So, but again, that's School of Hard Panther. So, Church of Hard Panther. Sorry, we're not in school. We're in church. We're not sad. We're cool.
School. Taking you back to school.
No. We've gone past school hub Bamford.
Right. Pickups.
We now return to the Transformers.
Who would like to go first? Andy, what did you get this week?
I've got nothing. I'm hanging on till Christmas now.
You've got your good looks and youth, Andy, bro.
Well,
You always have that.
I mean, no, not really.
Alexis having a look. What's his having a look? Jamie, did you pick anything up, sir?
Nope. Nothing.
All right. Fellow week. I'll go next. Sorry, got a cough. Not that sort of cough, hopefully. Not. Got the 2-pack. Battle Across Time 2-pack, which I was quite happy with. Sideswipe, lovely in him. Really, really enjoying that. That was from Kapow.
Did you only just get that then? I remember you mentioning that a few weeks ago that you'd ordered it.
I did. I ordered it a while ago.
Is this the...
Yeah, quite a while.
Delayed.
In fact, ages ago. Fucking ages ago. Also, got Megatron as well.
You showed him last week, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because you asked us which version of Megatron.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, of course I did, yeah.
10 shots, 10 bots. Strikes again.
10 shots, 10 bots. I'm not sure what I'd shown. But I'm really happy with Sideswipe. Beautiful version of him. He sits really well next to Optimus Prime and that Earthrise little section I've got upstairs with all the G1 bots. He's one of my favourites.
You do love your Sideswipes, don't you?
I do love a Sideswipe. I really do. Cool. Alexis, what have you found, mate?
Is he muted? No, just not talking.
I got Springer. I got the open play rip-off in Toon colours.
And upside down.
Right rounds. Airwolf. So I thought it looked pretty cool. So I wanted to see what he looked like because he's one of my favourite Springers. I think he's like a really poseable character. I'm going to sell my other one. I got the Sortus again. I got the A version. So I got the non-A version, and it's meant to be a slightly different colour, as you can see, like look on the box. So I'm just looking at the box to see the different colour, and it doesn't look like a different colour. So I'm wondering if like the box is clearly a different colour, right?
How much were they each?
The box is just a different colour. Is that it?
Does the A stand for Alexis? Did one of them have your address on?
Oh, I got just while I'm opening this up.
I noticed how he skirted over that. How much did they cost question?
I got this because this is called Weapon Specialist. I think this is eye gear. It's called Weapon Specialist.
The Ironhide,
like an IDW version of Ironhide.
Oh, that's cool.
And I thought maybe like he's got like a couple of faces, so I thought maybe take the face off and put it on the Earthrise Ironhide and make him into an IDW Ironhide. I don't know. The face sculpt looks like you can have a different face sculpt like Focus.
Oh, is it voice activated?
Yes, the camera is yes.
Defocus.
So I'm just gonna open this one.
Off.
It looked like it was it didn't look like it was the A version. Everything's gonna drop out now, isn't it? Fucking stupid.
Oh dear.
It's almost like you've not planned for anything.
It's almost like I have a 1-month-old and no time.
Oh, boo.
Oh.
Here we go. That looks exactly the fucking same. Have I been sold?
I'm just going to quickly go Christmas shopping for a bit. I'll see you in about 20 to 30 minutes.
I'm worried now if I've been sold like the same one.
Check my LinkedIn, see what's happening there.
Let's go do
if you want to cry, that'll make good ratings.
If you break one on camera, that would do. The ratings will soar.
No, it's the same. They haven't. This isn't the.
So what's the difference?
Is it fucking different?
I thought the boxes look slightly different from the angle.
Yeah,
I think it is different. I think it is different.
Oh, I mean, if you can't immediately tell, that's not a good sign. I'm going to be honest with you.
The legs are different colours, right? Those legs, like one's green and one's like a brown.
It's hard to tell on the camera.
It's hard to tell in real life. I'm pretty sure they're different.
Well, you don't worry about it, little man. You'll be
Oh
okay.
yeah,
He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
yeah. It looks different in the. It's ever so. Oh, it is different. Yeah. If you look here, like it is like you can see it's different. Like there is like I can't fucking tell, can you, with the camera? Like this one here is the Toon version. If you look at the yellow on the front, it's not quite as yellow, and the green is not quite as green.
There's a very slight difference in the yellow.
Yeah. So
is that it?
Yeah. So, but it looked different on the box.
Did you order this after we'd done 10 bots, 10 shots? Because that would have been a bad idea.
Oh, this is a Black Friday deal I got. I made sure I put it in the box.
Cool. Did you get anything else?
I don't care.
Okay. Right. Now it's time for the most important bit of the show, where we look you in the eye as a viewer and say this is entertainment. It's time, of course, for Fanstoys Innuendo. So let's get the picture up. So the aim of the game is that I've pilfered a picture off of the Fanstoys Facebook group. They get very passionate about their toys, as they rightly should. They're very lovely. But I've replaced the picture with something else. I've just realised I haven't loaded it up. What a mess I am today.
So can I just ask Alexis?
There we go.
I'm going to say a price, right? But I'm going to say slightly different to the real price. Just add a zero and tell me if that's how much it cost. Right, £10.
Oh yeah. So
right, for a slightly different yellow,
£115. I think the original one was about £115.
Glad you used the code.
I could.
That makes it 1,100. Right.
So it's 1,000.
Fanstoys Innuendo.
Oh, and Airwolf, and the other one was £50. So.
All right, cool. So Fanstoys Innuendo, we've replaced it, and the theme now for the next couple of months is new calendars. So new calendars. Ooh. So you have to guess what the two Transformers under this
nude calendars.
Nude or new?
It could be both.
New calendars.
Yeah, I did say new.
Calendars.
Jamie's right. But it could be both.
Brilliant.
So 2001's calendar, Humping Dogs, a selection of dogs caught in the act. This is from Jamie's personal collection. I pulled it off him. Thank you, Jamie. Remember, Christmas is a time to put all differences aside. It's not a competition about who has what, who has more. Merry Christmas, one and all. Who the bloody hell is hiding under this?
Oh dear.
Are the two dogs a clue?
Are they definitely Fanstoys figures? Because that's not always the case, is it? So I've got to look around for that.
Sometimes they are. Sometimes
is it
they are.
Is it my wonderful Springer? Like, is it my wonderful Springer? Two of them. Because they're Springer Spaniels, aren't
they?
Is
it Hound?
No, they're Springer Spaniels. Are they Springer Spaniels?
Is it Hound of
Springer Spaniels?
I don't know, but one of them looks happier than the other.
Oh, I'm not sure which one though. But they both look happy in different ways.
They do. It must be happy.
Is it Fanstoys Apache and then the Saltus because they're both Springer Spaniels, so it would be Springer, right?
Ain't no logical that answer.
I mean, it's really a yes or no answer to that. Have you got it right or not?
Benjamin put tape
many
box.
subtle levels.
There's a knock at the door. You go, Paul.
Oh, no, I've gone the wrong way. Right, who wants the answer?
Oh, it's Hound.
Possibly no one.
It's Hound. So
the answer was Soundwave.
Oh,
because they were Springer Spaniels. Right.
What?
See, it makes sense.
What?
It makes sense.
How does it make sense?
It does. It makes sense.
Don't you dare call Rabbit a dog. I will slap you, silly.
Right, time
play
for...
that shit here.
I've left a comment on the screen back. So, it's time for foreplay.
Is that going here? Is that one for here?
Because I should probably grab the pot.
What do you mean?
They're sex swappers. Lynn, this is DEFCON 1. Look. Look. Don't make the same noise as them. Don't think you want to join in.
Wow, welcome to Foreplay. So on tonight's Foreplay, we're going to choose a Bumblebee. Bumblebee's tonight's choice. So we'll each choose a random Bumblebee from the line. It might be someone we like, someone we love. I think Andy's gone to get his, which is why we're on this weird screen. You can really see our faces.
I am back.
Who would like to go first?
No.
Cool, Jamie.
No.
Bonjour, Jamie.
I'll go first if you want, unless Jamie wants to.
I'll go first.
Go on then.
Cool. Right, if I spotlight you first, and then that's it. Cool.
Okay,
Nice.
so my Bumblebee is actually a different choice from the mini bots which I chose last year, which was about a couple of weeks back, which was the classic Bumblebee, which was awesome. I went from Bumblebee Origins Bumblebee just because it's just different, isn't it? It just seemed like a fun figure, which you always kind of wanted. You wanted that Cybertronian mode, a proper Cybertronian mode, and we got it. And and he didn't have much of a backpack. Is all sort of like little panels, and it just worked out. And it's just a beautiful figure. And I absolutely do love it. I mean, the accessories, the backpack, not bad. It's quite cool. It could have been done if they actually bothered to make the Energon bars actually fit into his hands. That might have been a nice thing, but you can't have everything. But it just reminds you of that opening scene of G1 cartoon when we saw the Bumblebee and Jazz and Wheeljack, for the first time, and we'll get Optimus Prime, and we'll get to see the Seekers, and it was just awesome to see these sort of like Cybertronian modes, and we've always kind of had a hankering for it, and we've had third party do sort of similar versions, but Hasbro, they pulled it off. They gave us a Bumblebee, which reminds you of that Bumblebee from the cartoon, and I like it, so that's why I picked that Bumblebee out of all the others. And there's good Bumblebees out there. I kid you not. You've got the Hasbro Bumblebee, the latest one, War for Cybertron, or some of the classic Bumblebee. You've got Bumblebee Prime, you've got the movie Bumblebee. I mean, they're all different. I mean, we've got a swarm of bees. We've got a swarm of very good Bumblebees. So it's not like he's best from a bad bunch. He's a best from a good bunch. And that's my Bumblebee. Thanks, Paul.
Sublime. Sorry, Alexis, I muted you. You're making loads of noise.
I muted myself. Sorry.
Oh, he double muted you.
I double muted myself.
Lovely photos.
Thank you. I didn't take any.
I remember those from the.
When
you showed those. They're really good.
Did you have him in hover mode? Bumblebee. Did you elevate him off the ground?
From your trick you showed about 2 weeks ago, I mean, you can do that, but I haven't bothered to.
He looked like he was like flying.
He's still pushing it.
Yeah,
I mean, he still does.
As if he's discovered this. RRD 2015 got a bit of love in the comments, which is good. By Dave Rave has Posable Nipples, who has his own YouTube show, well worth checking out.
As well as Posable Nipples.
There's not many people I see with it, but you've got it, Dave's got it. What do you think of him?
RID.
The RID.
I love the car mode, and I got him to practice painting on. So I was doing like silver chrome paint for the silver spokes and the tires and stuff, and fixing the headlights and giving more detail, and it really is a good figure. And I quite enjoy it, and I think that's sometimes I forget that it's a Transformer collector. When I get Chugs, I'm so interested. Does it look like the cartoon? Does the alt mode look like the cartoon or the comic? I forget, is the transformation fun? And sometimes you get the RID figures and you get the movie bot figures, Studio Series I should say, and you remember how much fun it is transforming, because I'm not so worried about breaking them. I'm just having fun, and I want to add detail I can. Where with the Chugs, I've kind of got this thing where I don't want to touch it. I want to keep it as pure as it came out of the box.
It's weird, 'cause I don't have fear of breaking a figure. I probably should have after what happened to Baggy Wardog. I snapped his arm off. But apart from that, I don't really have. I do push the figures quite hard to transform them. Yeah, I don't really get that fear, but no, it is not. The transformations are really nice on the bots you mentioned. Cool. Who would like to go next? Who's be ready?
I'll go quick.
Go on, mate.
So I'm gonna go with still my favourite version of a character I'm not a big fan of, and that's Classics Bumblebee. Here he is. As you can see, I've had my finger on the old Rob sign there, so it's heated up, kind of. I still really like this figure, even though it's a bit chunky, and of course he's a bit kiddly, particularly on the arms. I just think it's still a really good, fun figure. And I don't particularly like Bumblebee as a character. I wasn't one of those kids that like really related to him because he was the kid-friendly character, wasn't he, in G1? And maybe that's because I'm more of a Decepticon at heart. But this, I still remember getting this. I still remember how chuffed I was when I spotted it. And I was like, oh, look, it's Bumblebee. It's an actual decent-looking version of Bumblebee. And I do have his little jet ski on its trailer, which turns into like a rocket backpack thing, doesn't it? But yeah, I still think this is a really good version of B. I wouldn't mind picking up that Origins one. I wasn't that bothered about it, but then seeing Jamie's photos and seeing lots of other people with it saying how good it is, then it's actually fun. That's kind of what I miss in Transformers sometimes, is just a figure you could pick up and just play with, and it's just fun. And when I say play with, I'm an adult collector. I mean pose and, all that stuff. Not play with, because,
So choose Rob's side.
No, far too old for that. But still, play with. So, yeah. My choice would still be Classics Bumblebee. He's the only Bumblebee, other than my G1 Bumblebee, really, that I've ever been that bothered about and wanted to keep. And he comes from that whole era when we got Reveal the Shield Jazz and Trax. And again, their molds I really like. And I prefer the Trax mold from the Reveal the Shield to the one we've more recently had, even though it's engineering-wise, arguably not as good. I still think it looks better and it's more fun to kind of play with and transform. And I still really love that Reveal the Shield Jazz. I don't know why, but the Studio Series one, it almost looks too much like the cartoon for me. I prefer those door wings and that look that Reveal the Shield Jazz had. Yeah, but this would be my Bumblebee of choice. This would be the one I'd have. Whether that would change if I had an Origins Bumblebee, maybe. I mean, I've seen a lot of people waxing lyrical about it. I know, obviously, Jamie's spoken about it several times, and I know Dave Wallace, who comes on our show, he posted on Twitter about just what a fun bot it was. But in my collection, in hand, I can talk about Classics Bumblebee, who in this lighting looks really faded, but he's not. But he does look it in this lighting. Damn you, lighting.
Northern Light.
And that's my bot. Well, nice. I've got to get the kids going through on the treadmill, otherwise we're going to run out of electric for that.
Get down mine. No, it's cool. That's what they say up here.
Oh, you're so northern.
I am. Oh, yeah, I had him. He was a brilliant bot. And just the sporty little, like almost Ford Focus that he turns into.
Yeah, it was a different version because the VW Beetle is iconic, and I would never deny that. But I'd never been a big fan of Volkswagen Beetles, and especially the new version of the Beetle, because almost everyone I see driving one of them is a tosser. So I can't get on board with the whole.
I won't be buying that car, though.
Damn hipsters! Get them on, Dale, you twat!
Stop sticking a flower or an actual bumblebee in the front. It doesn't look cool. Makes you look like a twat.
Anyway, my ideas are
watching and you do. Right, cool. Alexis, would you like to go next, mate?
Yeah, sure, no worries. So, my Bumblebee of choice is Keller Heller's Bumblebee. It's a lovely brew, Honey Bear, which is
was it Helen Keller or Keller Heller?
Oh, don't get
God bless her.
From the Garden Brewery. I could read a little synopsis if you like. This is part of my.
Why is this?
Do we kick him again?
My beer advent calendar. So I'll just open it and I'll just start to.
Oh Jesus! Are you going to be doing this every week?
Wait there. Let me just. You want to hear this?
Up until Christmas, I see.
Use your biceps when you do it. Use your biceps.
Wait for it.
That's it.
It's crisp.
That was a bit. Just. That didn't sound great.
You smell.
I was expecting
essence
more
of wild flowers and crisp underwear. You know, like that fresh underwear you
crisp
get.
Underwear? What?
When you're going through her underwear,
when you sneak into somebody's house and you go through the drawers.
You're such a Lionel Richie.
Are you drinking beer or something that needs to go on Operation U-Tree?
So this is mine is MP21. It's the original MPB. Which I really like still. It's a bit dated in the comparison of like the kibbly, backpacky shit one that they made, the MP5 40, whatever it was. I don't like it. But I mean, this is homage. Like, I mean, if you look at the inside the wrist, there's gaps. Oh my god, gaps in an MP.
Oh yeah.
As well. Look at
That's how you know it's MP.
Come on, head sculpt. My camera's out of focus. It's doing a pull.
Focus.
My camera isn't
Anyway.
focusing on the figures either.
But I think look, the backpack's really tidy. He's got proportions are really good. It's the wrong yellow. He comes with a spike or a Daniel, whichever one you want to look at. Right, it comes with a spike. And I've checked, and again, so this transforms as well, which is pretty good. You can pick up a KO version. He's for like 30 quid now. I think he's still retail at about sort of 40. He holds his value. I just think he's really cool. He's got little cool things like the insignia turns around for like calm mode. Oh, watch out, ladies and gentlemen. Bit of hard panther going on here as I just transform.
Yeah, see that struggle.
See? And it's yeah, Spudger.
When he struggles with that, you understand why he doesn't transform Unicron.
And then you can turn it around. It's so strong. It's so strong. It's all die casts, all platinum. So, but for 40 quid. So this is my B. I had him for a long time as well. He transforms into the traditional VWB2, not the Tomb one. The one thing I do like about the actual, I'll give it to it. The newer versions of Masterpiece do nail the alt mode. Let's face it, the G1 figures nailed the alt mode, right? It was the fucking robots that they sucked at, and the new Masterpiece suck at the moment. So, unfortunately, I mean, that's what I don't like the new skids either. So I'm not going to rant about that anyway because people like it. So, but this is mine, and I like him. And I bought the other MPB, which was twice the price of this. Actually, no, probably needed 3 times the price, and I sold it, lost money on it, just I want to keep this guy. So I like him. He's mine.
Cool. I never owned the latest Masterpiece B, but I did own that one, MP21. And he does look a lot better, doesn't it? That really stupid face that the most recent one has. So I went for mine. I'm going to hard pan for him. I went for Revenge of the Fallen Bumblebee. Or G1 Bumblebee. So this is... Can you remember when they re-released all the G1 toys in Woolworths in like 1992? In different packaging?
The classics versions.
Classics, that's
old
it.
backing boxes and stuff like that. About 1990, 91, I think.
That's it. So he came from that line. I got him and Silverbolt. And I was so happy to get him because... big old flap head. He had... when I was young, when I was 6 or 7... Bumblebee was one of my favourite characters, and my parents wanted to go and get me, and I opened him up on Christmas Day, and there, standing in front of me, was Bumblebee, but it wasn't, it was Hubcap. So I had Hubcap for about 7 years, and when I was about 11 or 12, they had these for like £2 sealed in box in Woolworths.
Wow.
So I managed to finally pick it up, and this is the original one. This is my original Bumblebee, which I had to wait until I was 11 to get, and there we go, straight hard panther. The wheels were a bit wanky because I think I replaced them with Lego wheels, which kind of fitted. The tyres fitted. So it's got Lego tyres, which is why it doesn't quite clamp down at the front.
So this is a customised Bumblebee.
Yeah, it's my first custom.
Wow. Did I see some damage to the rear window there?
Yeah, look at that.
Has he been in the walls? Look at
one.
that. You see, he's a warrior.
I won't zoom mine in because it will never focus on me again.
It's from that movie, Dark of the Fallen, Revenge of the Moon, whatever it is.
Dark of the Fallen, Revenge of the Moon.
Revenge of the Moon.
That's the one.
Isn't there a sci-fi film coming out next year with the moon attacks Earth or something like that? Anyway, it's like that.
Moonado.
Oh no, is that the Silent Sea or something like that? I've seen a trailer for it. Is it the one that's like Chinese based? And,
no, there's another one. It's
there?
very Western based.
Oh, the moon turns on us.
Yes,
I knew
the
that.
dark side of the moon.
I trusted you.
It's caused extinction 6 times in the past. It keeps the Earth pure. I mean, they're really running out of villains when they're making the fucking moon the bad guy.
Does he have a cat? It's a stroke. Cat on the moon. That's it. The next one will be his revenge from his cat. The cat survived in space.
I'm not sure what we're talking about now. So G1 Bumblebee was mine. An honourable mention would be for Netflix Bumblebee, which I think is absolutely brilliant. I just have to... You don't see his hands as much as you do with Cliffjumper, so I'm okay with it. You don't really see it, but Cliffjumper...
Apparently it's called Moonfall, that film, just for those who... So thank you
thanks,
very much.
Danvestator,
yeah.
Great shout. Right, so that brings us to the end of the show. And the end of the show is discussion time. And tonight is none other. It's the main event. We are talking about our top 5 worst Transformers of 2022. Roll VT. Where's VT gone? There you are.
We now return to the Transformers.
Merry Christmas. Well, it's the time of the year where we're ending the year and rounding things off. We will be doing our top 5 robots of 2021. But we thought we'd start off this side of Christmas with our worst Transformers we've picked up this year. So, Jamie, tell me, what was wank for you, apart from COVID, in 2021? What was the real things which upset you this year, Transformers-wise?
Okay, I was going to say, keep it specific.
It's okay to share the screen, Paul.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yes, so... I'm going to go count backwards. Number 5 of the worst Transformers for the year for me is the Titan. It's the arc, the Titan arc. It's just like
Yay!
Hey, fantastic!
Got there in the end.
It's just got that sort of like I think the color should have been more orange. It's kind of like a U-line yellow. I don't know. It's just something slightly off about it. And then there's gaps. There's lots of gaps, and I'm thinking to myself, I would rather have paid more if they just filled in the gaps. And then it's like the turrets don't move, and I would wish the turrets had moved. I just feel like we're playing for a hunk of plastic, and they didn't really make it a playset, which you could have done. And there was lots of cool stuff which you were trying to do to make it a playset, like opening inside. You can have your mainframe in there, which makes the bridge of the arc, and you can put the very tiny figures which you're bound to lose, especially if you have children, mess around to take cool shots inside. But yeah, it's just, and like, oh god. And the golden discs don't look very golden to me. I know that you can't have real gold, okay, but I would have liked that. But it would have been nice to have really sort of like golden paint, or to have it like die cast, and have some weight to it. And it's not like, and the hands, they're not fully articulated either for that sort of Titan, and that would have been a nice touch. Of like skeletal hands as well, it could have been molded out better. And it's like the Teletran. I mean, it has got a lot of detail, but the extra on the Teletran or mainframe, whatever what you want to call it, the pilot of the arc, I just wish he was gone. You could have bought him separately, and he was used to fill in the gaps, or when it was in the sort of like ship mode, there was hidden compartments and stuff like that. I mean, the vamp does come down. I mean, that's quite cool, but again, I just wish there was more. And it's nice detail, don't get me wrong. It does look good, but for me, I envisioned having it in the arc mode all the time. And yet, I kind of prefer the Titan mode. I think the robot works better as the last Autobot rather than as the arc. And I would recommend it when it goes down to like £90 or something like that. At the original price of like something 150, that was just ridiculous for a piece of fish.
It's around to about £100 on Smith's now, I believe.
I would say,
shared to me.
Yeah, I would say then, yeah, you're taking a go for it then. I just don't like mainframe and stuff like that. I just think he's chunky, it's all these panels, and it makes the Teletran, and and
you can also get
it just doesn't. It just doesn't. Yeah, the DNA kit, But that's what I mean. I'd rather not had mainframe and we had Hasbro do their version of a DNA kit. And as the thing is, there, as I was trying to say, is that mainframe is, he doesn't really scale with the normal chug figures. He scales with the Jesus.
You're okay.
All right, you just died.
Oh, did Lisa get you? Is it a flesh wound?
Did she get
you? Just finally get you. Oh, speak to us from the afterlife.
So, as I was just trying to say, it scales better with the core figures, and it's kind of, and I think a lot of people said like that. It's more play set for the core figures. Number 4 in my dynamic list is Jazz. I do prefer. It's kind of love-hate relationship. I do like Jazz. He reminds me of the cartoon. He reminds me of the way he set out in the cartoon, but then I still prefer Reveal the Shield Jazz. He you know, one's like from the comic and the other one's like from the cartoon. So it's a love-hate relationship. It's like family, isn't it? Van Diesel, family, you know. But then again, it's just not revealed the Shield Jazz. And he lacks some gimmicks where all the other Transformers from Studio Series seem to have some gimmicks with them, you know, and some useless gimmicks at that. He just doesn't seem to come with any gimmicks. And I just wish, I don't know, they just thought of something, you know, maybe like revealed the Shield Jazz that came with like the speakers, or maybe the sort of lasso thing he had, you know, which he used, you know, to cross a bridge or a chasm. And he's just, and it's the clear plastic I have a problem with. You know, it's just full of that clear plastic, which makes it a nightmare to transform in the sense that you just can't be robust with the transformation. You don't want to go fast because you don't want to end up breaking it because of the clear plastic. They've got a hole in the middle of the roof to put the gun in, but then you think to yourself, it's a tight fit with the gun, and then you don't want to be damaging that clear plastic. I'd rather, although it does look good, I wish sometimes you would think about maybe just using, you know, solid, normal, non-clear plastic and just paint it like they've done with the Origins Cliff Jumper, which I'm a bit worried about because it makes me think they've just painted the clear plastic in Origins Cliff Jumper rather than use non-clear plastic, just to give it that bit more robustness. You know, the more like mini masterpieces they become, the more fragile and the negatives they take up from the masterpieces. So I just kind of wish you would think about that. And the other thing, you know, Lassen, you know, he's a bit rounded, he's a bit frumpy. He does look very much like the cartoon Jazz, but I still prefer that reveal the Shield Jazz.
Is this still number 4 still?
Yeah, this is number 4.
Okay, just checking.
If you want to talk some, you can. I don't mind.
No, sorry, just I sort of.
No,
sure.
it's okay, Alexis. You go for it. All right. Okay. Number 3. I'll speed it up for you. It's Cup. Cup is yes, another love relationship. He's got the kind of face it's been used to put out a campfire. He's not happy. He's got those dead eyes, which we were talking about earlier, you know, which reminds me of Mei Lin, you know, after years of collecting Transformers.
I didn't even know she'd been collecting for years, Jamie.
Well, she has been buying me some, so I feel like she is a collector. It's kind of cool in the sense he does look body posture wise. He does look. You can get a lot of different poses into him. You can have fun bits when the body parts break off, and you can recreate scenes from the movie. He is a bit more streamlined. It is good at that. But then you get the Bumblebee Origins Cup come out, which just fucks this guy over, literally, because then you've got a better version out. Which is just better, making this guy even worse, which is annoying because I bought a second one. So just absolutely annoying. And he's got annoying transformation, you know, just got to get the angles right and stuff like that. But yeah, that's Cut for you. Number 2, fossilizers. And why do we have fossilizers? I don't know. They're kind of weird because I do like them. You know, they're like bigger versions of Lego pieces, and I know the 2 smaller ones are core figures and they're not fossilizers, but they kind of look part of the fossilizer family. They're just like, you know, Walk Lords are back through the back door. They weren't on the Netflix cartoon. They haven't been referenced in the comics either, as far as I'm aware. And I've been reading up the current comic line, so there's just like they've just came out there as a toy purely with no referencing, so you've got no characters to them, and just placed out there. They are fun for your kids, I guess. You can pick them apart. You can make a fossilizer combiner. People have made fossilizer motorbikes using the wheels from Wreck Car. But yeah, I just think, you know, why help me? There's you know, but love-hate relationship with them. And my number 1, what I hate. Well, I hate such a strong word these days.
Strong word.
Yeah.
Watch me get whatever this is for Christmas. Just watch. It's going to happen.
If anyone wants to send this to Jamie afterwards, well, I'll happily give you his address.
Is Plain Jane or is it Plain Tom? It's Top Gun, because at first I really wanted it. I really liked the plane mode, And then when I got it, I just couldn't be bothered to get it out of the box. It just didn't excite me. Maybe it will. It's just, it's a crossover which I thought would work, and it just didn't for me. At the time,
The jet mode does look really good, though, doesn't it? I remember seeing the jet mode and thinking, Christ on a bike, that is an awesome, Top Gun style F-14 Tomcat. Because people were moaning about the paint. Have you seen the film? Have you seen what an F-14 Tomcat looks like? They're not exactly painted up in rainbow colours. They are grey, basically, slightly different shades of grey. But the robot mode... Oh.
It's funny you should mention the paint, because I have seen so many customizations of the Top Gun plane, because it's almost like a clear canvas to work with. And people have done some fantastic paint work in this, to make it like figures from across the Transformer era, and some wonderful paint work on it. And some have went into making details and stuff. I mean, so to me, it might be a good figure for customization. But that's my top 5. Sorry for taking so long. Not feeling that well.
That was great by you, but awful top 5. Truly, it was not good. You probably didn't notice, but at some point in there, my chair broke.
Did it?
I went backwards.
No idea.
I got a heart attack.
How did we not get that on camera? That would have been the
and then I went and told. I was reaching backwards to grab a transformer whilst Jane was presenting, and then the chair said no, and then I ran upstairs to tell wifey.
New game. Alexis, I'm your wife. Yes, you are. You came in actually, didn't you? Yeah, new game. When Jamie's presenting next time, can we just make loud noises? Just
loud noises.
Just loud noises.
Right, who's next? I didn't do a top 5. I thought we were just doing a top 4.
And
then one extra.
If you want.
Go on then. But that was really good. No,
hang on. You're not. If you're gonna have to go hunt them down, wait. You go hunt them down. We're not going to let watch Alexis walk around his room.
I know I'm a 5th. I know I'm ill, but I'm doing a top 5. I stuck to it, and Alexis is saying,
"How is Alexis going to get it down to just 5?" Yeah, chuck that.
Right, go on, Andy. You go in, Andy.
Oh, can I share then? Just I won't. I'm not. I won't be off showing long. I obviously haven't got my own photos to share that are as incredibly brilliant as Jamie's, but
great photos.
Oh,
great photos.
Here we go.
Shit chair.
Let's share, and in sharing, let's find some kind of cathartic. I don't know what. Yeah. Is it on? It's on. There we go. Oh, Earthrise / Kingdom RC. How you vex
me. With gusto. With gusto.
It's just it looks that photo. Like if I looked at that photo like I did before I had it actually in my possession, I'd look at it and think, wow, that's just that looks really, really good. I can even forgive the backpack part of it. I don't mind that, because she kind of did have a backpack, so that's fine. And then I got it in hand and it was tripe. I very rarely dislike a figure within minutes of like opening it up and transforming it and stuff, and I did with her. And I kind of, I don't know if it was influenced by my love of the Titans Return version, but I just don't like it. I'm sorry, I don't. And it put me off buying the Elita 1 figure, which I've been told by lots of people is far, far better. I'm not really sure why, because it's pretty much the same mold, but apparently is far better. Well, the head sculpt, that's what'll swing it then. But I really don't like it. I'm sure there's lots of people who do. And do you know what the most annoying thing is? My daughter turned around to me the other day, and she was looking at my collection. She was looking at the display shelves and everything. And she said to me, "Daddy, where's the pink one?" And I said, "It's there." And I pointed to the Titans Return one. And she went, No. The other pink one that you had, the other version of it. And I said, "Daddy got rid of it because he didn't like it." And she just looked at me and she went, "That was my favourite." Oh, shit. I'm going to have to buy this piece of crap again, aren't I? Just so I can give it to my daughter and she can be happy. And that will pay. I'm telling you now, that will pain me to have to actually pay money for that.
Especially when Amazon had it for £8.
I know. She was like in the Black Friday sales. If she'd have told me that a week ago, or however many weeks it was, but anyway, if she'd have told me that
Andy,
then, I could have got it for.
Do what I did. Get the Cyberverse version.
Well, do you know what? The Cyberverse version, I really like the look of, but I showed her a picture of that, thinking she'd like it, and she went, "No, I like the other one." She noticed. She
won't know. She won't buy it. She won't know.
Well, I'll try it.
Once there's a pony in front of them, they never care. Try getting to say no to any pony. Doesn't matter what
You
pony looks
always
like.
wanted to talk about ponies, aren't you? Right, moving on. Tracks. Oh, Tracks. Yeah, I so wanted to like Tracks. Kingdom Tracks. I so wanted to like it because I just thought it looked like the most accurate version of Tracks we've ever had. And yeah, there are just too many issues with it. The legs, parts of the transformation again. And I couldn't, it's like looks over substance. And I felt like RC was a bit like that. It's looks over substance. And I just enjoy the Reveal Shield version more, which is the one obviously on the left. Not my photo, stolen from Google Images. So whoever took that photo, if you're watching, thank you very much. And if you're not watching, don't worry about it, it's fine. But yeah, that version of Tracks is my favorite and is the one behind me on my shelves, which I will keep for now until such time as I deem there is a decent enough version to replace it. But I just found Tracks to be very problematic, and to the point where I decided, I'm not going to keep this. Yeah, and I know people do like it, and I know people say there's fixes for the legs and fixes for this, that, and the other. But who's got time for that? You know, I have a life and lots of children and lots of other things going. I haven't got time to try and do all that crap. So, yes, Kingdom Tracks. If you think of getting it, don't. It's crap. And this was the surprising one for me. I was desperate to get these guys, and I finally did because I had their original G1 versions and still do, just over there behind me. And I finally got these guys, and I still have them. I haven't got rid of them, but I found them just really frustrating. They just will, more so Growl than Bomb Shock. I still kind of like Bomb Shock, but Growl just will not stand the hell up. You know, how I tried posing, the slightest change in the breeze, and he just falls over all the time. And I'm going to be honest, and I might anger some people with this, possibly Jamie. I found this with quite a few of these Siege Micromasters. They just, do you know what? It might be the G1er in me, but I just prefer the G1 versions of the Micromasters.
I kind of agree with you there, Andy. I think in some respects,
thank God, because I thought we were going to get into an argument or something, and I really don't have the energy today.
To me, it's like a different type of love. That's what I say to my mistresses. You know, it's a different love.
Oh, yeah. I hope Maylin never watches this.
So do I. So do I.
But you know what? I really wanted to like these guys because I do love. I didn't have that many of the actual patrols. I had some of the Micromaster bases when I was a kid, and the bigger ones like Countdown and stuff. But I didn't have a lot of the patrols, and so I really wanted to get this one because of that whole nostalgia thing again. Bomb Shock, I think, is passable to maybe good. But Growl just annoys me. I like the vehicle mode, but the robot mode and trying to get into pose and do anything other than just not fall over is just, it just gets on my nerves. So I will say this as well. I'm going through this like worst 5 bots. They're probably not really that bad because I think we've had an incredible year for bots this year. But it's like, you know, we said we're going to do a worst 5 bots, and I had to think, well, what can I include then? And I'll also say, because I think it was you, Jamie, made a comment in our chat about, like, think back to some of the ones you've got rid of this year. But not all of the bots I've got rid of were necessarily bad bots. I mean, Siege Jetfire, which I have moved on, everybody loves Siege Jetfire, and quite rightly so. It's an engineering masterpiece. But my problem with it more was I just don't care about Jetfire that much. And, like, something about the look of it and everything, because it was more based on the cartoon, I just was like, it's not that it's a bad bot, it's brilliant. But it's like, I never touch the thing. I never mess around with it. I don't.
Is it down to lack of stories? Maybe with Siege Jetfire.
I think I don't know because I quite liked him in the cartoon, and I'll tell you what, that did piss me off because I have watched back the kind of Wolf of Cybertron Netflix cartoons, and that really annoyed me that like Jetfire and that crew that were on Cybertron. I kind of wanted to see, right, well, what's going to have happened to them after the whole debacle with Shockwave and everything else. Those who've seen it will know what I mean. And then it was just like, oh, no, they're just all dead. No explanation or anything. It's just literally they're just all dead. And it was just, it's kind of such a damp squib. And like you've mentioned before, Jamie, I just thought it was like, is that really bad? Is it bad? I mean, it is bad writing, but is that they were just told, no, just get them out of the way. We need to concentrate on these other ones.
It'd be really good if they were actually lining up like a War for Cybertron spin-off, like because obviously like they went forward in time, didn't they? Millions of years to Earth, right? Obviously, they were dead, but is that because millions of years passed? And is there a whole storyline of sort of like in between that of what actually happened?
I think we should just bury the Netflix thing completely and forget it ever existed, and I'm happy with that.
Move on from it. And can I just say, because I can see I've managed to light the chat up with people quite rightly saying what a great figure Siege Jetfire is, and it is. But I have mentioned this before. If I don't have that emotional connection to the figure, then it's just a thing. It's it might be a brilliant thing in a way, but it's just I need
how I feel like the
connection.
fossilizers.
Well, the fossilizers, I have never had any interest
No,
in.
they're wank.
I've seen
They are
nothing
wank.
that makes me think that they are worth picking up. And if you like, I've heard people like, oh, well, if you like dinosaurs, it's a skeleton. It's not like, even if it was like a Beast Wars Megatron or something, I have more interest in picking up Beast Wars Megatron or what's the name of the red repaint version again? Somebody help me out. The red
Megatron.
Repaint version of the Kingdom.
I've got it. I don't care what
you know what I mean.
Snowdrop.
You know what I mean?
Cattle Ravage.
Bob.
Red Megatron.
But whatever it's called.
Hordak.
That's the one. That's the one. Hordak. Oh,
Hordak's got red on his black plates.
I'd like to talk about that, but we'll get into that if we have our Masters of the Universe Revelation podcast. Next one, Blur. I just don't rate it. And again, I've got the Titans Return version, which I still really like. I like the mold. And I just found this one. I found him, again, a pain in the ass to pose. His shoulders are crap. The things, the kibble under his arms, it's still too big. I get that the argument is it's more accurate to the cartoon model and all that, but I actually found his face again a bit derpy, and I just did not take a shine to this at all, and did not mind one bit selling it on. Sometimes you sell on a bot and you think, actually, I might pick that up again because I think I made a mistake there. Nope, not with this. The only thing I'll say is the Shattered Glass one looks great, but I think that's the color scheme and the eye patch thing.
Yes,
part of me knows it's the same mold. It will have the same.
I agree with you, Andy. I bought a second one of this though, just in case I was wrong.
Oh, Jamie, I love you so
much. I swear I'll cry if the Bumblebee Origins Blur comes out now.
Oh dear. Yeah. So Blur. If you've got it, you like it. And again, please don't take this as you are wrong if you like it. It's not that. I know there's people who would probably. There's people who have a lot of axes to grind with like one of my favorite ones, Earthrise Double Dealer, although I think it was last year, so it doesn't count for this year. But still, I get that totally. But I can overlook certain things if I have like that love of the character or that connection with it. And with Blur, I do like the character, but I just thought this wasn't a good enough version of it. It wasn't the version for me. Let's put it that way. And then that's it. I think that's the last one, isn't it? So there you go. I think that was 5 in total if you include the 2 Micromasters. So thank you very much for your time.
Love that top 5 of worst lists.
Andy.
I'll go next. I've done it a different way around, so I thought we'd just do a couple of bots each, like one bot each. So I've just got 2 bots. I've got my worst Transformer, I think, which was released last year, and I've got my worst Transformer I picked up this year for 2021. So my worst Transformer I picked up has got to be Battle Slash. So that's him. I've made him extra derpy by putting his big head on. So this, I think it's Power of the Primes. Yes, Power of the Prime. So
leave it, Jay. It's not worth it.
I understand.
Yeah, he is pretty wank.
That he goes with another guy. Who's the other guy? Is it Battle?
Mayhem Attack Squad. That's what I'm saying.
Battle wank.
I should be right because they're not real.
Trouser smear. Battle wank and trouser smear.
You say that once there's a snarl and that's something else.
I don't know. I know that he goes with Battle Trap and he turns into a mini combiner and stuff. And I was really excited to get him. But I just think Hasbro have moved on so much, even though he's only like 3 years old, 2 years old. I picked him up. I was really excited to get him. But actually, when you get him in hand, and the other one, they're a pile of cat wank, and they're not that good at all, to be honest.
What about the join mode? Does the combine mode save
do you know
it
what?
for you?
I didn't even do the combine mode.
Did you know that?
I don't care. It can only be a good Transformer if it's good in more than one mode.
I will say to you there, the combine mode is fiddly, wanky, doesn't stand up. He's got 4 knees. It's shocking.
But on the plus
Yeah.
side, it doesn't cost over £100. So
no, but
I would rather pay
it's
if they'd done him
£17
£100.
overpriced at £17.
So,
Oh, dear.
my worst Transformer released this year in 2021, actually came with the best gun I think has possibly ever been released in almost any Transformer. It also came with one of the best
can't be this one.
robot modes that Hasbro have done in terms of their mini bots. One of the best ones I've ever seen, but it was absolutely crippled by one of the worst alt modes Hasbro have ever done, and that's why Huffer is my number one worst Transformer from 2021, because they done such an amazing job. They went proper Iron Factory, just went, right, let's do the best robot mode in the world. And what's that? You want the best gun? We'll give him that as well. So it gets you really excited. I remember getting off out of the box, and I remember taking pictures of him going, oh, look, Jamie and Andy and Alexis, I really like this Chug Transformer. He's brilliant. Hasbro have done me proud. They hadn't. They tricked me. Huffer is one of my favourite toys as a kid. The fucking G1 version has a better alt mode than this by far.
Can I just point out that
As
that
Lexus
comment
got
that you
another
put up of Impactor 666 is relating to Battle Slash or whatever he's called, and the other one not to Huff.
Ah, right, okay.
Try and make it look like that.
Oh yeah, he's always on sale.
Sorry,
I literally have to hold a Transformer up to the screen, talk about him, and do the mouse at the same time, and look for opportune moments where I can put in rude things. Like
you know what that reminds me of, Paul? That Huffer,
we look good in
that.
We do, don't we? That's on my. It's in my wallet.
I knew us there.
What that Huffer reminds me of there is it's almost a bit like it, but it's not quite. It's like Fallen Brewing Co.'s Grapevine, which is the next beer I'm going to be drinking here, which actually isn't rubbish.
Oh, for Christ's sake!
It's really tasty, and I'll read you a little synopsis from it if you. Oh, well, that's quite hard to read. Actually, let me get the light here.
Right, with that notice, it's probably time to upgrade the brand. So the brand dropped off. It's now time for our episode 101 to episode 199. Sorry, wives. New branding. There we go. Transformers the show with the new branding. Looks so posh. Not as posh as him in his robot mode. So disappointing. I know. I look at him now. I think, God, he looks so good. So good.
Is it just the visible fist though? Because the thing is,
no,
the
whole thing is a calamity.
When I don't think it's a great vehicle mode, but I guess I just don't have that hatred of the visible fist that you do.
I think there's worse. I think Hasbro have done worse alt modes by far this year. I think there are Transformers got worse alt modes.
See,
well, he was about 2 years ago, wasn't he?
I started saying before you did.
This is the point where you play the clip. I'd sure like to fist him.
I don't want to fist things. So when you transform them, it's just that they've done such a good job with everything else. And that's probably what the most annoying thing is. They almost achieve perfection. And this isn't a robot which should have a difficult alt mode to achieve. Like, you should be able to achieve.
It's the way they do things. Like, you're going to have someone like Mark, who's very creative genius, who wants to do the good thing and finish it off. But just as he's coming to that last 90% or maybe 85%, someone takes over and says, we're going to stop you there, Mark, and we're going to make it a little bit pish. It's probably like someone we employed there who's like the pish expert to make it slightly worse to stop it from being brilliant, because, you know, they've got masterpieces out there.
Yeah, that could be. It could be. Whoa, that's gone too good. You're getting there. It must be, because if this was perfect, it would be one of the best Huffers, and I have seen a lot of Huffer. I just think Hasbro. I think you're right. I think they have deadlines to hit. They have to get the Transformers designed within a certain time, and this definitely feels they went all out, and they've cut some corners in the alt mode. So yeah,
we know that they have to cut costs sometimes as well when they with the transformations, and that sometimes you get them where the robot mode's not great and the vehicle mode's not great, and sometimes you get a great vehicle mode and the robot mode's rubbish. And in this case, you've got a great robot mode and a vehicle mode that's or worse if you don't like.
But they can do it.
Fists.
Obviously, Jetfire is a near perfect robot. Jetfire is a near perfect figure, and Rodimus comes quite close, but the trailer is an issue, and the face sculpt is pretty wanky as well. Apart from those two things, that's near perfect as well. So they can do it. They can pull the finger out, but you've got to pay 80 quid.
Yeah.
Or 90 quid for it. That's the challenge.
Look
You
at
just got to pay.
Earthrise Prime, one of the best Transformers I think ever released. That Sideswipe I've just got spot on. Just Huffer.
That's why they keep reusing the Sideswipe molds, though, isn't it? Because it's once they know they're onto a winning mold, they do tend to try and reuse it over and over again.
Just really wanted Huffer to join that echelon of amazing Transformers and be up there with
he
hasn't,
be
sadly.
up there with CJ Face.
So as much as disappointment as it is poor Transformer. Is that everyone?
I think that's all of us, isn't it?
Cool, bro. Great.
Have you got all molds now, Sideswipe?
Sideswipe?
No, I've got the one Jamie sent me, and about 2 others. I haven't got loads, but I've got a lot of Sideswipes. I've got about 20, 30
The latest
Sideswipes.
Studio Series one is on in demand. It came out, I think, just now in Hasbro Pulse.
Yeah, that didn't look too different, did it? I remember they coming up in the news. It looked very similar to the previous Studio Series one.
Shell former.
It had a huge backpack, yeah.
Yeah, does it actually look better? It didn't to me, but...
So there is Bumblebee for everyone who was interested in what he looks like, the original Beetle. So not his cartoon mode, that's more real world, which is what they used to do back in MP lands. So my top 5, I've actually got 5. Actually put some thought into this now. I've had time to think about it. So my number 5 is going to be fucking controversial, right? I thought about, honorary mention, right? I thought about going. Hang on, I'll just count. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Counting to 5 is hard.
It's always hard to get past that 4, isn't it? Sometimes I start to shake.
Did I get 5?
I'm so easy up to be.
It's only to 5.
Come on, I had 5, didn't I? Right. Okay, 5. Number 5 is going to be.
You could just make him up now. Anyone.
No, I
Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next week.
Right.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, I was enjoying that.
So number 5 will be
in your own time.
Is
Unicron? You've not transformed him. You must not.
Yeah, he must be pissed.
No, X-Transbot Spinosaur. That thing that I spend lots of money on, and he's
which one?
No, the one that always falls over. The one that broke when I transformed into Tremor because the little part snapped here. The one that.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one. The combiner, which actually looks really, really good. Just, don't touch him. And I keep buying little bits and pieces for him because he looks really cool, and he's probably one of my favorite Transformers I've got as well.
Looks over substance, you see. That's the thing. It's looks over substance.
He's just so fit. He's just such an. He's never coming out of combined mode. Never going to come out of combined mode, and it probably costs like close to 500-600 quid. And it's just like it's never coming out of that mode. So, that's got to be in there at number 5 just because for the it's just oh my god, I can't believe it. Unless I can think of the actual number 5, and then there'll be different number 5. So number 4.
Impact of 66 said, how many Transformers do you have?
7.5. This is the Tuesday, then I have 8. We
today,
share one.
He's bought 7 today.
I think we reached the maximum of his counting.
I counted one.
We found the roof.
I did count.
Numerical
I did count one.
ceiling.
I think I counted. Oh no! Hang on. I think I found it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah. Mensaur's not in there. He's number 6. Already mentioned. Number 5. Sorry, I remembered it now. Number 5. Controversial. Fanstoys Apache, the reissue, which came out this year. I was very underwhelmed. I heard so many good things about this, right? And I'm so disappointed with this car mode here. That one there. That car mode there. Like the legs they don't even do anything. They just fold at the shin up, and it creates this elongated car mode, right? And it's just and the shoulders as well are troublesome. They're so big, so chunky, right? And every other Springer that is out there actually deals with the shoulders and actually has something intuitive to do with the legs. And this was just so underwhelming when I bought this. This is the box because it's actually in my movie collection right now because I do quite like the bot mode, but I'm tempted.
Did you have the version 1?
No, I did not.
It wasn't like that Transformer earlier. You just bought the same robot.
Because that's the one that I bought. That's the one that I bought instead was the Sorters. That came out slightly afterwards. I looked at a patch and I wasn't sure. And then I liked the paint, but I wasn't sure about the other modes. And then I bought the Sorters because I really liked all the modes. The car mode isn't which you saw today. The car mode isn't true to the movie, but I think it's still probably the best, most fun transformation. You can flip it back and forth very easy, like Hard Panther style. The problem with that one is it's got the knees are a little bit, the knees aren't quite solid, and his feet aren't quite there. But the feet on the Apache as well are a little bit wonky. Remember, when I got back the box, he had wonky feet as well, and that's a common issue of that. So that's number 5. Controversial, I know. Apache, everyone loves him, but he's not all that really. I actually think this is probably the best one out there to get. This one here, 50 quid. 50 quid. This one here. It's not as good MP wise. There's it's not as smart engineering. Like you can see the tires. You can see the tires in the robot mode, but apart from that tire there on top, I have to say, this is why I bought this one because I want to see what the color scheme's like. This is such a good posable bot and such a good bot. Open Play, when they release this, Open Play, they don't give you instructions, so you have to go Hard Panther. So straight away, it's in Paul's good books. They're that good in there, and now they've got a really nice paint finish on it as well. And let's face it, right? How much of your bot do you look at and you think, if it's got a wank paint job, I don't want it in my collection straight away, right? You want to have a decent paint job, right? So that one's got a decent paint job. So 5, 4, X-Transbots Fuzz. Because if you remember, I bought this and then it broke, so I sent it back, and then like an idiot, because the second release of their combined mode was really good, I thought I'd buy it again and have another go at pulling my own teeth out, trying to transform it into car mode. This thing has got the worst transformation I have, probably the worst transformation. Like, I'm just looking around, like, yes, probably one of these worst transformations, like, ever. Like, you
can't say that yet, though, Alexis, because you haven't transformed Unicron, and then you can make a judgment at that point. Why didn't you do it now?
I transferred Unicron for 4-play, so
you did what now?
It's just my warm up. So this is number
what
4.
About Lock? Version 1 Lock. Was it worse than Lock?
This is such. Wait a second. This is such a bad transformer. I thought I'd buy it twice. So, yeah.
Transformer Associates. I bought it twice.
And that exactly. And now all in on the bloody. Because I want to see. Because this combined mode looks really good, and the hotspot looks really good, and the groove is really. The other bots are really good. It's like. Anyway, okay, that's number 4. Number 3 is this Soundwave up here. The Movieverse Soundwave. I can't remember who makes him, but in the end, like his knees. Fuck you, Ravage. Like his the way that you get his knees to bend, like his thighs to bend, you have to put his thigh up like that, and that's how it's like. And like you can see the other ones up there. Otherwise, and the same with the forearms. It's like what? It's like you can't bend it if it doesn't. If you put that, it doesn't bend. So you have to do that.
Do the forearms rotate by any chance, like Deathhead does, or
no,
Quintus?
No, they do. I mean, the other one comes off as well, like in the same way. But that's how you bend it. That's the only way. And the alt mode is pretty shit as well. You know, it's like it's trying to be like a mobile tank or mobile boombox or something. It just doesn't pull it off very well. So it says 100 quid.
So will you be selling that or?
No, because there isn't a better. So I looked. The Movieverse one actually looks really good, but it's just too small. He scales really well. Because if you look at the other one, if you have him better, the other one, the free LX one, the 3D, the posable action figure, you're looking at 300 quid for that. So for the equivalent version, so I'm getting this because the Mega Tank comes out next, the Megatron version, which looks really, really cool, really good. So if they start to release the movie bots like they are now in the chug scale, then that's quite impressive because the Starscream and the Prime and the B are really solid figures. It's just that Soundwave's pretty wank. Number 2 is Magic Square Magnus. This thing is fucking shit in a sense of it just falls apart. Like he doesn't hold his gun. Wait for it. He hold his arm straight.
Loose joints.
Oh, it's because they made in the robot 2 or 3 years ago, And I thought, I know, we'll stick some heavy armor on him, and we won't increase the joints or like the actual ability. Yeah, and things just fall off. The thighs fall off. Everything falls apart with this guy. He's really good to look at. He's such a good figure to look at, but everything else about him, just he's just got no playability. The New Age version is better, but still has its limitations in the sense of like it's still like the back's pretty shit, and things keep falling off as well. This thing as well, like they just so that there are limitations. It doesn't look quite as nice. I must say, I think probably the best version out. If you're going to get a Magnus, you don't care about you don't care about that. The sort of like if you want an all-in-one, then the one I gave to RJ, the MFT version for 17 quid. Buy one of those because those two are about 60 to 80 quid each.
Cool.
I fucked you shrimp for Russian.
Exactly. So you fucked a shrimp, baby. So the £17 version, which I gave to RJ. That's the one, and I regret selling it.
Is that a new slogan when you buy a bad Transformer? You're fucking a shrimp.
Fuck a shrimp. That's it. You fuck a shrimp, baby.
Let's make
That's
it
number 2.
Make it canon.
And
Transformers
fandom the Papa Toys Magnus is awesome. Sorry, carry on.
Number one. I think Paul guessed it.
Go.
I'm a big chocolate slut.
Virgin 1 Lock, which
nice.
I transformed him eventually into this, and this is as close as I can get to alt mode. The version 2 is good. Version 1, oh my god! I mean, 2 bits fell off, which I need to try and now if I get back into robot mode, I have to glue those back on because there's no other way of getting them back on. They're just literally just the screws that like, if you can see in here, like one of the screws frayed, like that one there frayed. That bit there is still attached. That bit there is still attached. But the bit over here, you can see the screws frayed. It's come away for this bit here.
Yeah.
So it's just and it literally like when you get it out the box and like you take it out the plastic sprue. That's what it basically did. It's just sprued off. I was like, oh great. So one-way transformation. So and you can pick those. So if you want a version 1 lock, it looks good in robot mode. Don't transform it. People are selling them second hand for about 35-40 quid. So if you want one, you can get one there. Really, if you want the version 2, extra transports do their bots normally about £100. So it's normally about 2/3. Yeah, sorry, one third less than Fanstoys. I think now extra transports are starting to pip Fanstoys a little bit because their new Jensen comes out in the next week, which is their version of Preceptor. There's all stop motion we shared before as well, and little minifigures as well. It'd be really cool if they release those minifigures on the line. So that's my number 1 because that figure was so bad that they actually just gave everyone the version 2, bought the version 1, and you just covered the £5 postage.
Well, it's great indeed. Yeah, no, loads of feedback that Locke is a big pile of poop. How much is Locke version 2?
£100.
Cool.
And he's the best. He's the best. Cool. He is the best MP. I wouldn't.
Is he the best around?
I think he's the best overall.
Bring him down.
I'm not going to get into one of these. You're going to play some stupid clip, aren't you?
Around.
No, I wish I did have
I know
a clip with that.
You lead me into these. What'd you say? He's purple?
Let's see if we can change the song in the chat.
Don't look for it. Don't look for it. Don't look for it. He's looking for it. He's looking for it. He's looking for it.
I've heard that some people stand in the darkness, afraid to step into the light. Some people have to have somebody when the edge of surrender's in sight.
Still to come up.
Cool. Right, that's it.
The torture has ended.
Yeah. Sorry about tonight. I've not been
guys, not for us.
on track.
We've still got to take Paul home.
We're contractually obligated to.
Yeah. Oh, it's been a fluster. I have been flustered tonight. I think when it started, I was editing something. I didn't realise where the time was. I looked at the time. I had 4 minutes until the show started. And I checked the Facebook chat, and you three were going, "Where the fuck's Paul?" I was like,
I wasn't. I was actually quite calm.
Jamie was panicking. I mean, he was really panicking. He was. He was getting angry.
I was asking
the names he was calling you. Have a look back in the chat.
Lisa was like, "Jamie's phoned you 5 times." So I'm doing that, but Lisa went for me.
That was just this morning. I could talk to you. I'm in the same room.
Yeah, and then I realised I didn't have Fanstoys Innuendo ready at all. So this comes to a surprise, but I don't actually put a lot of time into Fanstoys Innuendo. So I had to put that. I had to quickly go to Rohan's corner whilst I quickly done the Fanstoys Innuendo. It was.
I think we did a good children's episode today where we had Alexis counting 1 to 5 and taking his time and bringing people with him for the ride.
It was good. And we found your cap, your ceiling.
Yeah.
All the way.
And that is how easy you can transform MPB. There we go.
I can show you the chair.
I think Paul deserves extra credit because he sat on a stump. Oh no, he has actually got the chair.
Can you see the breakage? There. Look at my breakage.
I can't believe we missed it. We heard the noise.
I got a fright. I was like, what the hell?
Oh no, sorry, I didn't mean to.
You could tell something fairly serious had just occurred. I thought it was a bot hitting the floor. I thought somebody's masterpiece, 150 quid bot had just gone.
Lisa said, "Was that the kids?" I went, "No, it was me." She went, "Oh, phew."
Why is it going to be kids?
Because they're doing their podcast.
Oh. Right, we'll be back next week. Next week, the show will not be live, unfortunately. We're going to record it on the Thursday night. We are going to stick out at the normal time, so it will be 8 o'clock Friday night. It will arrive in your inboxes, and you'll be able to see it. So there will be a show next week. It will just not be live. Right. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Please head to TFUK on Facebook. Please, if you haven't already, there's a TF Con, which is 17th of May next year. We're all mega excited about going. We will be there. We'll say hello to you. We will wax owls with you and smoke cigarettes out the back. It will be amazing.
Wank owls?
All right, Jamie.
Wax lyrical.
We'll do that, but we won't say that in public.
Who's bringing the owls this time?
If you need to find that, head to TFCon on Facebook and you'll see it. TFCon, a convention for Transformers. And Thew's going to be there. Loads of other people. And we can't wait. So, go and buy some tickets, yeah? And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.